So Jerry's pretty much already alluded to the fact that he ain't firing Matt Eberflus, all right? He was happy to get him. He'll be in his foxhole anytime, which, great. So this means that this team's going to continue to be one of the worst in not just franchise history, but NFL history. So, Jerry, that being said, since you've pretty much alluded to the fact that Eberflus's job is safe for at least this year, your thoughts on this putrid defense?
No, I remember all those defenses. If you look back, those coaches, Monty Kiffin's recognized one of the best defensive coaches in football. And you can go on through those names, and you'll see them. They all had their days. I'm not going to name names, but you can keep going with really outstanding defensive coaches. Let me say this. Defensive coaching in the NFL, it is an all-day sucker because this league makes its rules, and this league pushes toward offense. And that's good. I love that. And I love the game because of that. But we push it toward the offense. And so it's quite a challenge. And usually if you execute a play and you block it right, you've got a good chance of moving that football, which they did the other day with their running game, of course. We thought that we could do a little better job in coverage, to say the least, and keep them from making a couple of those big throws they made. And we busted a couple of assignments, obviously. But the game plan was to understand they were going to run that football, and we just needed to do a good job at defending that pass, and then we needed to do a good job when we had the ball.
So,
hire Jerry as a DC.
Jerry says we knew they were going to run the ball, but we had to do a better job defending the pass. Jerry, we love you. We love what you've done for the sport of football. I don't understand what we're doing here. I really, really don't.
It's really interesting when you're again, going back to the sportscast, when you have to try and name these audio clips, right? Because it's Jerry talking about this because that's what he's asked about. But then you have to end it with wherever he gets to in his minute long point that he's trying to make, which usually doesn't tie into what he was originally asked.
Jerry's going to get his. He's going to get his points off, whether that was the question asked or not. And
I think that we need to start playing a game where does Jerry actually answer the question that he's asked?
That would be a pretty simple answer, Fred.
I was about to say, you make a drinking game out of it, it's easy. You'll be drunk very quickly.
So you couldn't stop the run, which again, as Jerry alluded to, you knew that. And again, he knew that. He said the same thing we all knew, was that they were going to have to stop the run, but yet we chose to defend the pass. So maybe that's what the problem was. Maybe that was the issue on Sunday, was that we knew they were going to run the ball, but we focused on stopping the pass instead, and therein lies the rub. All right, Jerry 11, will you be talking to George Pickens about a possible contract extension anytime soon?
We are always looking at what we can do to basically financially improve where we are. Now, you don't financially improve without getting what you paid for. Well, that's a misnomer. You have to have the talent. You have to have the players. And I know you said, well, duh, that was assumed in the question. Well, the point is that we'll look carefully at what we're doing financially, look carefully at what we do there with George. And I can't tell you how proud I am personally for George because he is absolutely as exciting as he's been on the field for us. He's been that kind of teammate, and he's inspirational. Our coaches have enjoyed coaching him. I won't speak for the players, but he is a great teammate in my mind. And, of course, when we got him, there was some issue with, there might be something with the way his personality. Well, I'll tell you this, I'll take that combination we got with him any day.
Hands down, the best thing they've done all off season. Yep. I mean, of course, what he just said, we have no more idea of whether they're going to re-sign him just now than
personally,
when we did prior to.
He likes him now.
Loves him.
Yeah. Won't speak for the guys in the locker room.
Can't speak for them, but I've been great. had a little reputation. Coaches love him. Again, I don't know what the teammates think of him, but
Why do you have to say that?
I
won't speak for it. That made it sound like there was a problem, but he won't speak on it. The way he just said that, I know there's not, but just the way he said, I'm not going to say what. I can speak for the guys in the locker room now. I'll leave that to them.
I think he's trying to keep that from being a follow-up question.
Well,
right?
who likes him the most?
Jerry knows what he's doing. Jerry. How old do we think the term gaslighter is? It's a relatively new term, right?
Yeah.
Probably last 2-3 years, maybe?
I'd say last 4.
I mean, Jerry's been doing this for a decade plus. I mean, Jerry is the OG of gaslighting. Yeah. Right? I mean, I'm waiting for him to coin that term or mention that he is the OG gaslighter at some point. So, yeah, we're no further along to whether or not George Pickens. I don't think they're going to.
We've seen the trade talks. Your team's not going to be very good, so get some out of it. Do you want to re-sign him? I think the long term of just having him on the team, you're like, duh, have him on the team. He's been a great contributor. The money situation and figuring out paying guys, and we can look at cap numbers, as we get closer to the trade deadline and whatnot. But that's where it gets complicated. And as far as it's George Pickens going to be part of your long term future, and if you're planning not to re-sign him, then trade him while he has value. But if you're planning to, I would think so. Him and CD be a dynamic duo. Otherwise, you're going to have to go draft somebody. If you literally let him walk, then do you think Tolbert, Turpin, or Mingo are going to be your two on a Super Bowl winning team?
No, you're definitely going to go. You're definitely going to go get somebody if you don't re-sign him.
Why go back in the ringer and hey, let's try again and let's shoot our darts at it? It's not like George Pickens is 30. He's a young guy and seems to work well with Dak. So that resources you're going to use to go get someone or draft someone. You already got a guy in house that seems to be working.
And let's be real for a second. We really haven't seen. There's no really to it. We haven't seen him and CD at a high level together yet, right? Because those first couple games, they're still trying to figure things out. Like Dak and CD's chemistry goes without saying. We already know that's money in the bank.
And we know that George is fine being the two. He came here to be the two. He knew he was it's not like it's going to be CD comes back and all of a sudden George is mad. He's getting less targets. He knew he was going to be the two. He saw CD go out the first couple of weeks and then get hurt and have to step up. So I would assume George would want to stay if the Cowboys pay him. And I would think the Cowboys. Football is such a gamble, and you're getting someone that works well in the system. Yeah. Like Jerry just said, the guys like him. Dak seems to have good trust in him. If CD were to go down, or Jake Ferguson to go down, or Javonte to go down in the future, this year or next year, or whatever it may be, I can depend on George stepping up and being a game player for us.
I mean, he's been incredible. I mean,
why take that gamble?
Of what? Getting rid of him?
Getting rid of him and trying to, because I already know that. Well, I'm sure someone will text it in. You can trade him and draft somebody younger. You can say that for every team in the NFL. Anybody.
You thought you could do that with defensive end.
Just trade him and draft younger. Trade him and draft younger. That works every once in a while.
Yeah.
But at a premier position like the wide receiver, and when CD is going to, and this isn't the first time CD's been hurt, having a really dependable guy is a great support when you're an offensive built team. When you have a top 10 quarterback at $60 million a year, having a guy like that is important, because if CD were to go down next year, you traded Pickens and you got a young receiver, Turpin and Mingo as your core. If CD were to go down at any point next year,
Turpin, Mingo, and then insert whatever receiver you were to draft in the first or second round. And
then now you're drafting a receiver in the first round, and you don't get a linebacker, you don't get a safety, you don't get a corner.
You will have 2 picks.
You will have 2 picks, and we'll see if they move them around and whatnot, but. Why create one problem for another? We've been talking about wide receiver 2 for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And you finally got one, a guy that seems happy, a guy that's producing. I see.
Here's my question for you, though. Do you fancy them a team that, because look, he ain't getting out for any less than 25 to 30 mil. And 25 is probably on the low. I mean, 25 is probably wishful thinking.
Because wasn't he looking around 2022? And obviously with this play, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say that was before he went on this run.
And maybe when CD comes back, his numbers deplete a little bit. You can maybe get him for 26. And like I said, when we get closer to the trade deadline, we can look at exact cap numbers and who they're supposed to sign this offseason, all that good stuff. Locked into football right now.
But here's the question: if you're George Pickens, all right, do you think? And look, he's got David Mulligetta. As his agent, right? So you already know that. Has this offense dropped off at all since CD left?
No.
Right? So
you
by that
feeling good. Yeah.
So by that logic, Why should, if I'm George Pickens and I've been the dude.
Yeah, and I think you pay him. You pay him what he's deserved because there's other spots that you can hopefully shed money from.
No, I agree with you, but what I'm saying is I don't think that price tag is going to be in anything less than $30 million. Because if think about this, if CD's making what, 35?
Yeah, but don't you think his numbers will go down? I don't think a 3-week sample size will be enough to say I get $30 million. He's not going to be doing what he did last week every week. CD's probably going to play next game.
I don't dispute that, but I think he's showing the world that this is what I can do.
I think you can probably bargain somewhere from 25 to 30, and I'd be happy as a Cowboys fan if he was anywhere.
I think if he had
range.
Anybody besides David Mulligetta, I'd say yeah. Mulligetta ain't going for less than 30. I'm telling you, you've got. I mean, dude, he got Micah Parsons 47 for crying out loud.
Yeah.
George Pickens is going to get.
You're going to have to make some decisions at other positions with money though. And I think some Cowboys fans will be okay.
Yeah, just skimp on the defense. You got plenty of playmakers on that side. Real quick, speaking of CD, let's go to Jerry 12. What's the latest and greatest on CD, Turpin, and T-Book?
Without being doctor here and without the benefit of a week of practice, seeing where they are, thumbs up on all. It's looking good, but that's just it. You've got to have that week of practice, which we haven't had. And when we have it, that'll be the report card.
Okay.
See how it goes this week.
All right. Thumbs up on all three.
I forgot Flournoy as well, as far as receivers. Remember we were talking about like next year?
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to worry about Jalen Tolbert. Last but certainly not least, everybody's favorite corner that's taken the longest ACL recovery in the modern era. What's the latest and greatest on rookie third-round pick, Siobhan Ravel?
Excellent. Absolutely excellent. He's everything we thought he would be. Getting to see him up close and personal and what kind of player, athlete he is. All upbeat. Obviously, he's coming in with no experience, but his status, to answer your question, is that in his rehab, he's done nothing but make everybody's eyes big. And looking forward to getting him out there. We'll have to, everybody remember who's making his first steps in the NFL as he gets out there. But, boy, he's got a great future.
Okay.
That might have been one of my favorite guys.
That might be the greatest Jerry Jones. I mean, I'll tell you what, is there a better hype man in the world?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Now, hadn't played, and I don't know when he's coming out, but everybody's eyes, big.
They see him on that training room table. Is that Rebel?
Wait till he gets out on the football field.
That is his first time out there.
First time. Again, don't know what he's going to do. Don't know what he's going to do when he does come back, all right? But
eyes are big.
Bright future. Bright future. Don't know when that future's going to start, but when it does, watch out.